Well, hello. This is Angela Hooper Menifield of Menifield and Associates, and this is the HR moment or our HR moment for Friday, March 13th, 2020. Well, since our last video 2 days ago, a lot has happened, huh? For those of you who watch my videos or know me personally, I'm sure you know that I love sports. And so seeing how everything in that world has come to a crashing halt has been very interesting. I haven't spent a lot of time on social media, but I would say probably that first day, I was doing some things and checking some posts, and I saw some comments that really kind of got my goat, as the saying goes, or really perturbed me. And you might wonder why, right? Because we're supposed to allow people to have their own opinions, and um, we don't have to always agree. Well, it wasn't that I didn't disagree with the opinions that was bothering me. What was bothering me was how their lack of agreement with other people's opinions was causing these people to be angry and hostile. And again, I see this all the time in trainings and workshops. Some people think and or feel certain kind of ways, and some of it can even be irrational and illogical. And I talked a little bit about that yesterday, right? But I think the bigger point is for us is if someone is illogical, irrational, scared, panicking, just over the top, why are we angry at them? So why do we get upset when people are not doing or responding the way we want them to? And again, I'm owning that I'm guilty of it too. And I feel like my struggle is because sometimes when we do it, it's really mean. And so basically, it left me with the conclusion that, your lack of fear does not negate mine. So let me be perfectly clear. I actually got told by a client today, I just finished a team collaboration workshop over at Newark Alliance. Great organization, great leadership. Is probably one of my favorite places or teams to work with. But one of the team members said to me today that I have to be probably the most calmest person they had spoken to in the last couple of days, because every time something was said that could raise angst or panic, I was like, well, I don't know if that's true or based on my understanding, and even if it is true. But again, I know that I'm logically built, right? We talk about DISC, very high C. Don't make a lot of decisions based on emotion. And so I'm being really clear when I say that while I can understand some of the reactions that people are having that are extreme to be an annoyance to people because they don't agree with them, it doesn't negate them. So why don't we try to help the people who either have had bad information relayed to them or not getting their information from reputable sources? I mean, over the last couple of days, I've been inboxed in Messenger about, all these quote unquote remedies or things I can do to prevent being infected. And if I am infected, I should do that. And all of these messages come with things like, well, a cousin of mine that works for the CDC or this friend of mine whose parent works for the Pentagon said this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, don't these people know this is a hoax? These messages, I just don't believe came from those sources. And maybe it's because I worked for the federal government for 28 years. The types of things we're sharing and sending to each other, one, most of it is not true. And so while we think we're helping people, we're creating more fear and angst for others. And so I'll literally respond and say, okay, that's not true. Because if they really had a cousin that worked at the CDC or whatever, wouldn't they just tell you who their cousin was? I mean, why would they have to, talk in code? And so again, be careful what you share. Be careful what you tell other people. I don't want my name to be attached to inaccurate information, which is why I don't share a bunch of stuff. If you ask me to share it, I'm telling you right now, I won't, because I don't want to be attached to inaccurate information. I'm very thorough. I like to do my research. And again, I like to make logical decisions. So I understand people who were built that way. So again, instead of getting angry or belittling or invalidating the emotions of people who are in clear panic, the ones who are buying like 50 rolls of toilet paper, let's try to help them and talk to them, and so we can understand maybe where some of this angst comes. But belittling people, getting angry with them, judging them for that, I think has to stop. So I'm going to tell you what really resonates with me right now. And again, this is probably not very much HR. It's just me on my soapbox today. But I am very concerned about the haves and the have-nots. And I consider myself a have, so I'm a privileged person. So let's get that real clear. I understand I'm privileged with education. I'm privileged with some status. I'm privileged with income levels, right? If we go buy all the supplies, the cans, what do we leave for the haves? What do we leave for those who maybe don't have that much liquid funds right now, right? So maybe they can't afford to go and spend an extra $200 on supplies. It may take them another 6 months to use. And with the understanding that there's only limited supply that any one store can have on hand, if I take more than enough for me and mine, then wouldn't it suggest that somebody else that needs just enough to get through the next week? I mean, because it was the week to buy toilet paper for somebody, right? So like even if you have a regular routine, it was your week to buy somebody's. So if it's not my week and I go buy not only some more but enough for a month and a half, how many people have I kept from getting toilet paper? And this might sound like minutia, and then of course right now I live in an urban area. There's a lot of people who don't have cars. I mean, I lived here the first whole year and didn't drive. So how do thinking about some of these people, like how will they get their resources? And they can only take so much at a time. And it's almost like, are we thinking about these other people? So when I see some of these, owners like Mark Cuban in the NBA and players like Kevin Love that say, we have stadium employees who are being affected. And of course, people are being affected everywhere. But I don't want to add to their pain. So do I need all the toilet paper? Or do I need all the Clorox or whatever? And so I'm just be really transparent. I have bought no extra Clorox. I have bought no extra any of those things because I had Clorox in my house. And if my cleaning is fine and I haven't had a lot of people in and out, why do I need to go buy like 4 and 5 bottles of Clorox? I just don't understand that. And again, if we're taking the haves, if we're taking more, then what about the have-nots? And do we care? Do we really care? I don't know. So I find it a little frustrating. I really do, because it's like panic. I mean, these grocery stores are out of everything, I'm hearing. And a lot of the stuff they don't have to be out of, because grocery stores typically have enough merchandise to deal with their clientele that typically shops there. And so again, if we're getting 3 and 4 people's allotment of it, yeah, what if we do run out? Then we all run out together, right? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I just believe that, as the human race, we're all humans first. And so we should support and help each other. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, a lot of you are sending your people home. I think that is good if that's how, especially if they have to do a lot of interfacing with the public and things like that and closing operations down. Fortunately enough for me, a lot of my work is virtual. So, I'll be able to do work. I'm happy I was still able to finish the trainings I had today. But as supervisors, to just, end it on an HR note. So, if you saw the middle, excuse my rant. I just want to say, don't micromanage people. Don't be overbearing. Ensure that they have deliverables that they need to work towards. So what is the work project? What is it that you expect them to accomplish over the next week or so? And make sure those expectations are clear. And I also want to encourage, you to just create some type of platform for people to get some of those flexibilities too, if the job allows it, because you never know when it benefits them. So right now we're doing it because we say it benefits the operation and we don't want to seem cruel. But for some of these same places, last month, if an employee asked to work from home, they got told no, right? So I think it's interesting that now, as leadership, because we're so just and loving, we can let people work from home, when last month when they wanted to telework, we told them no when it would have helped them. But anyway, this still helped them some because they can stay on the payroll. And of course, I'm not negating that, but I do think it's interesting how jobs that were at one point not able to be telecommuted or work from home have all of a sudden become so. So anyway, as we come back from this, and we will come back, I do encourage you as supervisors and leaders to look for ways that you can make the work environment more flexible for your team and not only look to do so during periods of crisis. So, anyway, that's my little rant and tip. So, yes, I did have a little rant. So, for those of you who are annoyed, hey, it is what it is, right? Again, my name is Angela Hooper Menifield. This has been your HR moment with Menifield and Associates. I look forward to those of you who will be in my class tomorrow for my HR certification. We'll do that virtually as well. And for the rest of you, have an awesome weekend. And to everybody, please stay safe. Stay safe, be cautious, but try really hard not to create more panic and turmoil, not only in your lives, but the lives of those that you connect with. And if you can't say something nice to people on Facebook in their hysteria, just get off the social media. All right. Take care. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.